So it's here. Hello, welcome back to the Bricks Hub. Slightly different intro, but I thought it's probably worth just taking a bit of time to show you this model before I go into an in-depth look at it. So if anyone's been following this channel since around 2015, I think March 2015, I made a very old video with a very, for my standards nowadays, pretty bad Godzilla. Somehow it got 65,000 views. It's still going up. It's been overtaken by my mini Mecha Godzilla now and a few other videos, but I made this old MOC and that kind of kick-started this channel a little bit. I still make some Star Wars and I do a whole load of things, but I do just keep coming back to Godzilla, and that's why after quite a long time I decided to give this whole thing a complete rework. And where I'm at right now is honestly one of the happiest I've ever been with a MOC on this channel, especially. The original obviously still feels quite special to me, but I actually took the whole original one apart to make this when I was coming up with concepts for it. But when I wanted to make this fully, I wanted to use completely new pieces, so I did a full Bricklink order of all the parts, and I'm really happy I did that because there's a lot of yellowed, a lot of messed up pieces on the older version as you've seen. So this is a completely clean version of it. So quite a lot to see. I don't actually know where to start, but I'm gonna give it a beginning and give it a look, and hopefully I can find where I'm going from here. So I think the first thing to just look at right now is just how big this thing is right now. I think really the most important thing is just kind of how enormous this thing turned out to be, really. I never expected to get something this large. I think this is significantly bigger than some of the previous versions of it, even if the head is a bit smaller. I'm really happy with the proportions. And I feel like this is a lot more organic looking as well. Certain things like that, say how I did the chest, if it's gonna focus, and the head especially. Previous people, a comment I used to get quite a bit on the older videos was that this Godzilla looked like Mecha Godzilla. And to be honest, the more I looked at it, my older videos, the light grey colour, the slightly weird limb shapes and stuff like that, I can see why people thought that. And there's a bit of charm to the goofiness of my originals that I did, but I'm very happy that this one feels like a physical, a very big creature, not just a robot. And then here's a look at my sig fig with it just right now as well. You can see it just barely reaches up to the ankle. So it's a very big build. I think I should just forewarn you of anyone who wants to build this. So yeah, another big important thing I wanted to make sure is posability. So yeah, the leg posability is pretty important. I've got a ratcheted joint here. This allows it to splay a bit more. I might thin this torso section, but I don't know what that'll do to affect stability. And then regarding the arms, you can see there's a lot of range of motion on here. It's held on with just a standard mixed rules ball joint. And then you've got, you can move the hands as well. And then the fingers, which is something I was pretty important because the hand movement is quite a big part of this. The original stance I had for Godzilla was pretty much like this actually, and then I chose more of a one like this on my older models. But now that you can do anything with it, you can have the hands in any direction and you can recreate various poses if you want to have them. The atomic breath pose is probably more likely to be something like this, leaning forward, mouth open and stuff like that. And yeah, as you can see, the head has a lot of movement. You can do a lot of things. Oh, oops, that's just something popping off. And you can lift it up there. You can get quite a lot of intimidating poses with it, really. Another hugely important part for me as well was Godzilla's back. The spines going along the back there and then into the tail is something pretty important. You can see the tail is quite very long and it's got spikes all the way going onto it. And I've put quite a lot of posability in it. In previous versions there isn't as much, but I've got a lot here and actually used all pieces to get it stretched out. And I've put some spines on the tail as well to keep it natural looking. So the last couple of shots I just want to show some good poses you can do with it, really. The big thing I wanted to make about this is that it's not just this static monster you just sit down and that's it, you can't really do anything with. I really wanted to do a lot of things with this. I wanted to make it poseable, I wanted to make it really playable as well. So you can have it in all kinds of positions. I even slightly jokingly made a T-pose for it. And here's a sort of walking pose you can get as well. So there's a lot to do, and one of the big traps of making things with supported with 2 legs is a bit like Star Wars walkers, is that you don't want them to just have just fixed positions and you can't really do anything with them. So I really wanted to make sure that those knees were a big part of the build. And while the friction is like not amazing because it's quite a heavy build, you can move them and they're pretty secure once they're held in place. If you want to use some pieces with a bit more friction, that is also possible, but that might mean you sacrifice a bit of accuracy and a bit of stability. But it's still worth a try. So it almost feels weird to end this video so soon. Like, there's a lot of stuff that you can do, and I feel like I've only just like scratched the surface of like what you can do with this MOC just in this quick video here. And I think part of the reason why I made it was just because I wanted to share this with other people. But yeah, I'm going to provide some instructions, and I also want to put this on Lego Ideas. I don't know if anyone has had particular interest in a Godzilla Lego, but it seems like 65,000 people who watched the previous like versions and all the other ones after that have really been interested. So if it comes up, I'm going to put a link to it. I'm going to have it all advertised all over the channel. Please, 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 like, support this, because I'd love to see this on Lego Ideas. Obviously, I've made mine here, but I also think the Lego designers put their own spin on it and, you know, recreate this pretty iconic monster. And I really do love the 2014 and onwards design, the Monsterverse design. But if there's support for it, I want to try more. I want to try a giant Shin Godzilla. Shin Godzilla is a fantastic film. I rewatched it quite a few times recently, and I really want to do more with that as well. Even maybe the original like the 1950s Godzilla. That is also a great design for such an old like film. I'd love to have the opportunity to make more of these things, and the support I get on these videos and stuff will really help me. So like, subscribe, all the good stuff, please. It will be very helpful, and I hope I can give back. Well, thank you so much for watching regardless, and stay tuned for the tutorial.